Yo, what's going on YouTube and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at the Arizona Coyotes as the Coyotes have some interesting rumors around Jakob Chychrun. So it's kind of been on and off here with Jakob Chychrun in terms of the trade rumors this summer. Things seem to be heating up in training camp, yet we're kind of still standing here with our hands out waiting for something to get done, and nothing has gotten done up to this point. Now, we have an interesting report here from Craig Morgan and Bruce Garriach, and basically they're saying the Blue Jackets thought they had a deal at the draft to acquire defenseman Jakob Chychrun, but his camp reportedly halted the deal. Apparently, there was some indication that Chychrun at the time, at the draft, did not want to go to Columbus, and he wasn't really that interested in maybe playing there, but you kind of look how things have perceptually changed in Columbus since then. Obviously, Johnny Gaudreau ends up going there, and things all of a sudden look a little different. Now, maybe the perception is that maybe this is a place he would be willing and would want to go to. So these are just conflicting reports we've been hearing. We've also heard here from Elliot Friedman that the Arizona Coyotes are seeking Shane Pinto in a package for Jakob Chychrun. I think that is the kind of the hallmark of the Arizona Coyotes situation right now is getting center depth, because you saw what they did at the draft. They did not shy away from that, right? Last year they picked up Dylan Guenther. This year they picked up Logan Cooley, and they obviously picked up what's his name? I'm trying to remember the other guy they picked up. Hold on, let me look it up now. The Arizona Coyotes in the top 15 got two guys that are centers with their draft picks. And let me see. Connor Geekie. There it is. So it's Connor Geekie and Logan Cooley. So when you look at the Arizona Coyotes, obviously the need for more centers is definitely on the table. And they've looked around the league, and every trade that we've heard for Chychrun in LA, it involved Gabe Vilardi. And now in Ottawa, we're hearing Shane Pinto's name come up a couple of times. So that seems to be a pretty big part of the package. They want a top 6 center, potential NHL player, and that's kind of the starting point for the Coyotes. And again, that's not the first time we've heard that kind of report. That's kind of what you're looking at in a return. The Coyotes are willing to take on contracts to facilitate a Jakob Chychrun trade, and that was from Darren Drager. So the Arizona Coyotes may be willing to try and gain more value out of Chychrun by taking on a bad contract and kind of taking a quote-unquote sweetener in a deal in order to get Chychrun moved. And I think from Chychrun's side, he's a little frustrated, and he's kind of gone into training camp. Am I gonna be buying a house somewhere else? What's going on here? And at this point, nothing has gotten done. And then we've kind of got more follow-ups to that. Jakob Chychrun has told those close to him that he is now open to joining the Blue Jackets. And again, that's from Blue Jackets insider Aaron Portzline. So again, we're hearing conflicting reports that he rejected Columbus. Now he wants to go to Columbus, and maybe the perception around that organization has changed. Again, this is all stuff that is in flux. These are all rumors. This is hearsay. She said, he said. That's kind of where we're at with this. And it's been going on for a while. We've been talking about these reports now for 2 years about Chychrun. But the Coyotes are not settling. They want what they want for Chychrun, and they've seen it works when you do that, right? You look at what, the Avalanche took a lot of flack for kind of keeping Duchesne out of the lineup, and why won't they just trade him already? Well, they ended up getting a really good package for him, and to be honest, it's probably a huge part of the reason they won a Stanley Cup last year is because of some of the depth additions they got from that Matt Duchesne trade, most notably Bowen Byram. So it's kind of hard to say, like, all right, well, they're waiting too long or they're not waiting long enough, or because then the problem is, oh, well, they didn't wait long enough. Oh, okay, they made the trade nice and quick, but then everyone berates them because they didn't get the package they should have. And then who gets in trouble for that? GM. And that's how a GM loses his job, by losing a Jakob Chychrun trade. That's kind of how things work in the NHL. You cannot afford to miss on this kind of trade, and especially with where the Coyotes have been, they cannot afford, with a team that's probably not going to be very good, hasn't been very good the last couple of years, you can't afford to make a huge miss and a strikeout on a Jakob Chychrun potential trade scenario. And then this is the most interesting and most recent report on the Arizona Coyotes defenseman. And this is from Elliot Friedman. He said, all is quiet with Jakob Chychrun. He's expected to start skating in Arizona next week. Jakob Chychrun would really like to be traded out of Arizona and get a deal done. So it sounds like he will be in Arizona at this point, and he isn't really that thrilled about it. You know, they're playing in a college hockey venue. It's a very nice venue at Mullet Arena, the home of the Arizona State Sun Devils. But that's not necessarily a NHL professional hockey league rink. And I think that's something that has bothered him for a while. The fact that the team hasn't been very good throughout his contract. I think these are all things that are kind of building up resentment between Chychrun's camp and the Arizona Coyotes. So we'll see how things play out. There's been a lot of teams in the mix for Jakob Chychrun over the last couple of months. The Los Angeles Kings, the Ottawa Senators, and another kind of interesting team here, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the St. Louis Blues. A couple of teams that have been in the mix. I'd be shocked if most teams weren't in the mix, at the very least, asking Arizona what their price would be from their team and kind of going from there and seeing what's going on, and at least checking in with the Coyotes management just to see what it would take to get Chychrun. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know where you think Jakob Chychrun ends up at the end of this season, because I think at this point it's safe to say he will be in Arizona to start the season, but where does he end up? Does he end up in St. Louis, Columbus, LA, Ottawa, Edmonton, Vancouver? Where do you guys think he ends up? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.